Hey there, it's Brent here from firerecruitmentaustralia.com, and today we're talking about cognitive ability tests or aptitude tests and how the fire service assesses your score to see whether or not you're going to progress to the next stage. So I actually had a few questions come in about this recently and whether they're scored individually or if they score them all together and then take an average or whatever. And I just want to sort of cover the reason why you might be asking a question like this. And unfortunately, I think it's because you might be worried about your lack of ability to demonstrate that you have an ability, whether it be mechanical, abstract, verbal, or whatever. So it seems to me it's a question you might ask if you're not prepared well enough, and if you're running out of time and you're worried about not scoring high enough in one area. So that's unfortunately why I think the question comes up, but I'm just going to explain a little bit more about it, so stick with me. So, for example, currently the Queensland Fire Service is doing a supervised test for verbal, abstract or patterns and maths, right? So the way they'll look at this is, the reason they're testing you in each of these abilities is because it's important to them that you have a certain level of ability in all of those areas. So just like the pre-test where they had mechanical, it's important to them and it's important for the role that you have an ability of a certain level. So to answer the question, that's why you're getting tested in that area. So just for a start, if you go really low on one ability type, even if they were taking an average, you're still not going to get through, okay? You're not going to be scoring at a benchmark within those abilities because that is important to the fire service. So the MFB, for example, they go through ASA at the moment and have done for quite a few years. So there's sort of 4 reasoning types when you get your feedback, whether you're successful or not, would be like your score, say out of 50 was the pass mark. And if you did not hit that or high in each abilities category, you wouldn't pass. So that was nice in the fact that they gave you something to work on. So a lot of people might do really well in 3 of the areas, and there might be maths or English or something like that where they just, kind of get knocked out and didn't pass. So that's one way the cognitive ability test can stop you moving forward. Another way that can stop you moving forward, and I'll give you an example. So like New South Wales Fire and Rescue, I've had a lot of people there, they're like, I've got 98% in a cognitive test, I'm really high here or there. The thing with New South Wales is they test you in 3 areas straight off the bat. And this is why everyone is stopped in their tracks right at the start, because it's not just your cognitive score. So they have the emotional intelligence, the cognitive or aptitude, depends on what you want to call it, and the work safety sort of stuff, okay? So they're the first 3 hurdles you're going to face with New South Wales. And this is where the majority of people don't pass. And if you've done it before, you'll know that they've got the bell curves for each of these, okay? So if you do really well in your cognitive and you're up here in the 98th percentile or whatever, that does not mean that you're going to progress. So the way that they look at it closer to the start of the recruitment process is more holistic than some of the other services where you might get a benchmark or an average or whatever and just move on. So not only do you have to be up here somewhere in the cognitive, you need to be in the right place for the work safety and the emotional intelligence so that fits into the bands they've decided are best for their service going forward for a firefighter. So fundamentally, to answer the question, I think if you focus your effort more on getting the best score you can and understanding the test in advance, you're going to have a better time than worrying about it and how they'll add it up, okay? And that's how I work with my guys. It's like, let's make sure you're getting the best score you can in each component so that it just doesn't matter and you're not worrying about it or you're thinking about it. You're putting all your effort rather into a positive forward sort of environment so that you give yourself the best chance of getting through and having a go at the next stage. So hopefully you got something out of that. Look, it's a really common question I get and hopefully I've answered it for you. If you've got any other questions or comments, we can continue the conversation below this video in the comments section. If you did find this video helpful, make sure you give us a thumbs up below the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any updates. And as always, if you have any questions, you can contact me on the link below the video or visit firerecruitmentaustralia.com to see the latest in firefighter recruitment across the country. My name's Brent, this is firerecruitmentaustralia.com. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video.